Hi everybody! So for today's activity, we're going to talk about an underwater animal. They're actually quite cute. And you might have seen one before. Maybe if you're at the aquarium or if you happen to go at some underwater tropical event, right? We're going to talk about a seahorse. And seahorses are known for actually being quite tiny, huh? They're not as big as we think they might be, or at least they surprised me, huh? But a seahorse, even though it has the name horse in it, it's actually a type of fish, which is kind of surprising, right? Let's spell seahorse together. S, or E, A. Can you see that? Good. H, O, R, R, S, E. A seahorse. Now, the fun thing about a seahorse is when you see, they almost look like they have a long snout. Actually, kind of like a horse, how they have a long front, right? And their bodies kind of have this little fun thing about them is they have this cool little tail, right? And their tail actually spirals up. And did you know a really interesting fact about a seahorse is that maybe your mommy or you know a mommy, right? But in your family or with your friends, and if they have a baby in their tummy, and the mommy's carrying them. The fun thing about a seahorse is that the daddies actually carry them. It's so interesting, right? They're one of the very few species that actually do that. So there's a little fun fact for you about your seahorses. So for today's craft, what you'll need, I have a marker, some glue. You are more than welcome to paint the seahorse or use some watercolor, or even if you mix some shaving cream with some glue and some paint, that would also give the seahorse a really awesome texture. But because I'm just at my home and I want to, make sure that I'm going to give you the opportunity to use whatever you have at your house, I'm just going to color it with a marker today. Now, I made this stencil of a seahorse at my home. See? There's its long snout, its little belly, and its spiral tail. And I actually have their dorsal fins right here, right? One for their back and one for the top of their head. And sometimes it's even fun to cover these in glitter too, huh? I also have a googly eye. Now, seahorses have two eyes. However, I'm just doing a side profile, right? So I'm gonna only put one eye, but they do have two. It's like, imagine if you're looking at me like this from the side. You only see one of my eyes, right? But if you're looking at me from the front, there are two. So that's what we're gonna use today. So what's the first thing we always do when we have a craft? That's right, write our name. So if you need to pause this, write your name, go for it. I'm gonna write A-L-L-I-E, and I'll put today's date too. 2020. All right. And you know what would even be fun too is to write seahorse on this. I think that would be great too because it helps you practice how to spell. It helps you practice writing your letters, right? And it's always fun to learn new things, right? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut waves on the top of my paper. Now you can either cut them on your own or you can have somebody trace the waves and then you cut them out. Just remember to take your time, right? Put your thumb in the small hole, fingers in the large, and your wrist goes to the sky. You want to make sure you use your wrist to move around the scissors. And also, do we cut our hair? No. Do we cut our clothes? No. We want to make sure we only cut, very good, paper. So I'm going to cut out my waves. I use my wrist and see how I rotate. 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 And now it looks like the top of my paper is my water for my seahorse. Wonderful. Now, flip it to the blank side. Remember to make sure you always keep your scraps so you can recycle. Now, let's see what we got next. Next up, I'm going to color my seahorse. So it's gonna take me some time, right? And the thing about crafts that we should remember too is that sometimes it does take time, right? We don't want to just make it rush through and, you know, super simple, right? We want to, sometimes it's good to challenge yourself, right? Because when you challenge yourself, you're giving yourself, your brain is working really hard, and it's always great to exercise your brain, right? Even though it's great to exercise your body too, exercising your brain is super important also. It helps you to learn. It's so great to learn new things. Even though I'm an adult, guess what? I still love to learn new things. Do you like to learn new things? Yeah, and there's so many different things to learn about. Something that, you know, you can learn anything. Like right now we're learning about our sea animals, right? Just so you see what I'm doing, I'm just coloring in my seahorse. So even though we're learning about our sea animals right now, you know, last month we were learning about outer space. And, you know, we learn about math and science, and we learn about history, and we learn about so many different things that, you know, it helps our brain to grow. And then the fun thing is we can also teach other people what we learn about, right? So when I was your age, I learned all about this stuff also. And now, as an adult, I get to teach you guys everything that I learned, which is really fun. And before you know it, you'll be teaching your friends what you've been learning in school. Or maybe, you know, when you get older, maybe you want to be a teacher. And even if you, guess what? You can even teach other people things, even if you're not a teacher, right? Like I learned a lot from my mom and dad. And my dad's a chiropractor. And my mom, actually, you know what's pretty funny? My mom's a teacher too. When I was growing up, she was a teacher. So what I'm doing right now is I'm coloring it in. I'm taking my time. Right? And what color am I turning my seahorse? That's right, I'm making it pink. Actually, it almost looks like a magenta, huh? You know what color magenta is? Right, magenta's like a dark pinkish sort of red almost, and it's beautiful. Or even has some like purple tones to it also. So I'm gonna keep coloring. And then what I'm gonna do after this, now, like I said, sometimes it's really fun to paint these. If you have paint at home, go for it. You can even add glitter to your paint if you want to make it shimmer. And seahorses are actually known for having like a hard outer body when they're out of the water. But you know, if you want to make yours soft, like when they're in the water, you can, like I said before, using glue or glue with your paints. That would kind of give it like a squishy texture, especially if you put shaving cream in there. That's pretty fun too. Or you can just use, you know, good old paint. Or you can color it in like me. And you know what would be even funner, or excuse me, even more fun too, fun to do would be to put a pattern on yours. You can do a stripes or polka dots or any other different type of pattern that you're interested in for the day. So for me, I made mine pink. Good. And actually, I kind of like the idea of adding some fun to it. So I'm going to put some polka dots on mine. Maybe you can put some on yours. I've got a polka dot here. My marker's making a silly sound, huh? That is squeaky. Do your markers ever squeak when you use them? Yeah. Sometimes that happens, right? Look, I'm adding polka dots to my jellyfish. That's not a jellyfish, huh? To my seahorse. Good. Now, did you know that there are actually 36 different types of seahorses? Just like how there are so many different types of dogs and so many different types of cats, there are 36 different types of seahorses. That's a lot, huh? Here's my polka dot seahorse. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do, and also another thing that would be really fun too, my background paper that I'm going to glue my seahorse on, if you want to paint yours too, you can do that also. Or color it in, or collage it, right? We were doing mosaics too. That's always fun. So what I'm gonna do though for right now is I'm just gonna leave it blank just to show you guys. Otherwise we need a whole lot more time. So next up, I'm gonna take my googly eye. Using the wind, huh? It's getting the hair all in my face. And I'm gonna put my glue on my googly eye. And I'm gonna glue it right on my seahorse's head. Right there. Even the wind made it look like it was moving, huh? Awesome. Now, we have two separate fins on here that I'm gonna include. This one that almost kind of looks like a mohawk, right? You know that hairstyle on your head? I'm gonna put that on the top of my seahorse, like so. So I'm only gonna put a little bit of glue around here, all right? Put a little here, not all over it, right? I'm just putting it along the edge, like that. And then I'm gonna take my seahorse, and I'm gonna glue it at the top. See? Ta-da! And then I have one more. Then this one goes on their back. Kind of helps them to move their body. And same deal, right? Just a little bit of glue there. And then I'm gonna put it on its back. And voila. I got a seahorse. Now what I'm gonna do is put my glue, and I'm gonna put it all over my seahorse. It might be tricky to put it on the part where my googly eye is, so I'm just gonna kind of go around that. Put some on its back, on the dorsal, on the fins. Okay, here we go. And now I'm gonna flip over and glue it on my paper. Let's put it right here. I actually put mine a little diagonal. Thought that would look kind of fun, huh? And here we are. A seahorse. Nice. And even if you want to add for some fun, like for the background, we have our felt seahorse, or excuse me, seahorse. Our felt seaweed. I'm gonna put a little at the bottom. I'll put 2. 1, 2. See, I placed some seaweed at the bottom, and then I even cut out a little rock. Or it could be like a little pebble for the seafloor or something, huh? And I'm gonna put that, whoa, sticky glue, right at the bottom like so. Ta-da! We got a seahorse. I can't wait to see how yours turn out. I can't wait to see if you add patterns, or maybe you want stripes or hearts or polka dots or swirls, or maybe you just want to keep it plain. I can't wait to see it. Try your best. Have fun with it too. All right, see you later.